Good morning, students. Welcome again to this segment. We were in the middle of a particular scene in Twelfth Night, and this is Act 1, Scene 5, and we had started from line 211. Olivia says, "Now, sir," we are recapitulating it a little bit. Olivia says, "Now, sir, what is your text?" "Most sweet lady, a comfortable doctrine indeed, a comfortable doctrine, and much may be said of it. Where lies your text?" Viola answers, as you have known from the previous segment, "In Orsino's bosom." Olivia, in his bosom? In what chapter of his bosom? Bosom is heart. To answer by the method, to answer according to your style, since you are using the metaphor of the book, in the first of his heart. So you can see she is quite witty. She can return Olivia's wit. "Oh, I have read it. It is heresy. Have you no more to say? It's heresy." You see, Olivia carries on this metaphor of a text by pointing out that if that is the text, then that is blasphemous. Have you, because it tries to reach something that it shouldn't. "Have you no more to say? Good madam, let me see your face." So she is still trying. She wants to see. Now there are two motivations. First is to see Olivia's face and admire her for that, maybe. The second is obviously, if we go a little deep into the character, then try to find out what is there that attracts so much of Orsino's attention. Herself being in the line, being in between Orsino and Olivia. Olivia says, "Have you any commission from your lord to negotiate with my face?" So has your lord asked you to see my face? You are now out of your text. And now suddenly you can see Olivia defying what she had, what she had promised herself for the next 7 years. Defies her oath. She breaks her oath. "But we will draw the curtain and show you the picture." Draw the curtain and show you the picture. Again uses metaphor. The picture is her face. The curtain is the veil. Unveiling. "Look you, sir, such a one I was this present." Such a one I was this present. Bringing out her subconscious understanding that she will perhaps not be so in the future. Of course, this subconscious understanding doesn't come by itself. It has been to some extent motivated by Feste's interactions with her a little before. I'll ask you to go through that part of the text and understand it fully. Is it not well done? Is it not well done? You can see what Olivia's perspective over here. Olivia has come across a very young man, attractive, handsome, witty, with a very good sense of humor, and she has unveiled her face to that young man, and she's asking whether her face is pretty. What would be the response of a man over here? Had it not been Viola, but a man called Cesario, what would be the response? The man would be dazed a little, a bit confused, a bit flabbergasted at that moment. Look at Viola's response. Just because Viola is a woman. Excellently done. And then, if God did all. Meaning to say, if there is no makeup, if everything is natural. And Olivia knows how to return this particular comment. "'Tis in grain, sir. It's in the very grain. It will endure wind and weather. Then Viola goes on to say something very valuable in the course of this play. "'Tis beauty truly blent, whose red and white nature's own sweet and cunning hand laid on." Now, the beauty, we can say that is proper beauty, which is very harmoniously blended by nature. "Lady, you are the cruelest she alive." She has come back to her duty, of admiring the face. "You are the cruelest she alive, if you will lead these graces to the grave and leave the world no copy," and makes a direct appeal, not so much of marriage but of reproduction. You remember Shakespeare's sonnets? The first 17 sonnets, in the first 17 sonnets, the poet lover urges the fair friend to marry and have a child, so that the child may inherit some of the father's beauty. So one very important way of leaving a copy in this world is by marriage and by reproducing. "Lady, you are the cruelest she alive, if you will lead these graces to the grave and leave the world no copy." Olivia says, "Oh sir, I will not be so hard-headed. I will give out diverse schedules of my beauty. It shall be inventoried, and every particle and utensil levelled to my will. As item, 2 lips indifferent, red. Indifferent red is fairly red. Item, 2 grey eyes." So it's like a list. So she will make this list. She will make an inventory, and people will get to know how beautiful she was. Almost mocking the idea of recording beauty in terms of written texts. Of course, the mockery is not being done by Olivia over here, but Shakespeare is perhaps. 2 grey eyes with leads to them, item 1 neck, 1 chin, and so forth. Were you sent hither to praise me? I see what you are too proud. But if you were the devil, this is what Viola replies, you are fair. My lord and master loves you, oh such love could be but recompensed. Okay? It is such an intense love that it cannot be returned. It is in fact this, you see, the first 2 lines over here in Viola's speech, I see what you are too proud. But if you were the devil, you are fair, is somewhat a kind of an indifferent description of, kind of a neutral description of Olivia's beauty. But the moment she talks about Orsino, my lord and master loves you, oh such love could be but recompensed, though you were crowned the non-parallel of beauty. So if you are the most beautiful, unparalleled in beauty, even then you couldn't return that love. Look at the change in the vibrancy, look at the change in the mode. I see what you are too proud. But if you were the devil, you are fair. This is more or less indifferent. But the moment she talks about her Lord, and particularly the love of the Lord, it's that love that actually draws Viola towards Orsino. That wholehearted dedication. Maybe to some extent false. It may be to some extent a kind of a external expression of a deep kind of deep attachment with a self-image, but still Viola is smitten by it. Oh, such love could be but recompensed, though you were crowned the non-parallel of non-parallel of beauty. It actually means non-parallel. How does he love me? Viola says, with adorations, fertile tears, with groans that thunder love, with sighs of fire. Olivia says, your Lord does know my mind, I cannot love him. Yet I suppose him virtuous, know him noble, in voices well diverged, free, learned and valiant, and in dimension and the shape of nature a gracious person. But yet I cannot love him. He might have took his answer long ago. And look at what Viola will end with this. Viola's this particular speech. We are going too long with this particular part of the text. Look what Viola says. If I did love you in my master's flame, will such a suffering, such a deadly life in your denial, I would find no sense. I would not understand it. If I loved you as intensely as my master, then I would not find any idea, any sense in your denial. But you see, Viola is herself in a fix. She is in love with Orsino. You must understand, we are calling her Viola, but she does not have a name for the most part of the play. It's only when Sebastian comes and calls her Viola that we get to know as the audience that her name is Viola. So the character of Sebastian, about which we'll talk later, also not only operates as the Duke's ex machina, but also brings in Viola's own identity to herself. It adds Viola, it gives Viola her own identity, her identity as an individual. Anyway, see what Viola says when she understands fully well that she is in a real fix, a deep trouble. She loves Orsino. Orsino loves Olivia. But the real problem is, much to her disgust, Olivia loves her disguised self, Cesario. We'll come to Act 2, Scene 3 to fully understand the complication and Viola's perspective of it. This is a long soliloquy. It starts from line 14. I'd ask you to read the entire soliloquy and let me know from the comment part if you have any difficulty. But we will particularly focus from line 30 to the end of the soliloquy. Viola says, my master loves her dearly, and I, poor monster, fond as much on him as she mistaken seems to dote on me. My last master loves her dearly, her refers to Olivia, and I, poor monster, fond as much on him as, and she calls herself a poor monster. Why? Being both man and woman. Being a man outside and a woman within. And poor in the sense that helpless. Poor monster, fond as much on him, and she mistaken seems to dote on me. I'm extremely fond of him, and she, who has mistaken my gender, quite naturally, has started doting on me, has started loving me. What will become of this? How will this turn up? As I am man, my state is desperate for my master's love. Just as I have taken the disguise of a man, I have no chance in gaining my master's attention in love. As I am a woman, now alas the day, what three-flesh sighs shall poor Olivia breathe? Wonderful lines. What three-flesh sighs shall poor Olivia breathe? And now that I am actually a woman, all the sighs that Olivia is breathing for me are useless, are profitless. Doesn't that sympathy come out? What thriftless sighs shall poor Olivia breathe? Why is that sympathy working over here? Because she is also in love. O time, thou must untangle it, not I. It is too hard a knot for me to untie. So it's time which will come to untangle this situation, to uncomplicate the situation, because it's completely out of her reach. In fact, her faith in time proves to be right. In the course of time, Sebastian will come and the situation will be resolved. Thank you.